Hello, this is Joe Eber, and in today's video, let's talk about something that is very important in Tai Chi, how we shift our weight from side to side. Tai Chi is a beautiful art, okay, and it's based on relaxing, because if you can't relax, if you can't let go, nothing else works, okay. Posture, critical, okay. Without posture, again, things don't work right. Stepping. Now, we all learn to step in Tai Chi. We learn that you don't want to plop your weight down. You want to place your weight and then shift your weight, right? But we're never really taught how to shift our weight, okay? And so shifting your weight can be done in two different ways. One, and let me adjust the camera a little bit, you can actually push off your rear foot. Okay, so if I'm going forward, I push my weight into the front leg. The other way is I pull my weight. Okay, and we're going to talk about the two different ways of doing that. Now, in normal everyday life, when we walk, the act of walking is essentially pushing off the back foot, falling into the front foot, pushing off the back foot, falling into the front foot, and we keep doing that. We do it so smoothly that we don't even feel like we're pushing off, but yet that's exactly what we're doing, unless you've been trained to do otherwise, okay? But in Tai Chi, does that really work as well as pulling with your weight, okay? Now, I know I'm going to get a lot of pushback from some people about this. You know, we don't do that in our style. This is not about style. This is about the principles of Tai Chi, principles of movement, and which way gives you the results that you want, okay? So it's not about style. If you tell me, well, I've always done it this way and it works fine for me, again, you're limiting your scope. You're limiting your options. Unless you try some of the things that we talk about to feel for yourself, you won't know which way is better. Just because it's working for you doesn't mean it's the right way or the better way. Okay, so let's talk about that. So why is one better than the other? Well, one of the primary things that we want to do in Tai Chi is to lengthen our spine or expand it. Lengthen it. Feel like it's always expanding, okay? Like a rubber band, you always feel like you can always stretch it a little bit more, okay? However, if you feel like your spine is stopped and can't sink anymore, can't expand anymore, then something is wrong. When you push off your back leg, okay, you essentially are tightening muscles and pushing your hip up. Think about it. I weigh approximately 175 to 180 pounds, okay? To move that mass, if I push off my back leg, something has to tighten in order to move that mass, okay? That stands to reason. The other thing is, because I'm pushing, I'm not allowing the spine to sink. Now, when I pull, I just relax and let the weight go into the front leg. At the same time, I sink the back leg into the ground. So I feel my spine is getting longer. My tailbone is sinking into the ground, okay? One of the most important things in Tai Chi is your quad, opening the hip joint, the crease in here, okay? Now, to open this crease, we don't analyze it to that extent, but what really happens is you actually create a space. Your knee goes a little bit forward, your hip goes a little bit in, okay? That's what creates the opening in your quad, essentially. So think about it, when you go to sit down, okay, your hip goes one way, your knee goes the other way, you're lengthening the space. When you push off, okay, what you're actually doing is condensing that space. You're not lengthening it. Try to feel this, okay? When you push off, I feel my hip gets closer to my knee, okay? I'm stopping that lengthening process. But when I pull, the quad sinks, the knee moves. This space gets longer, okay, which allows the spine to get longer, to sink into the ground. Your tailbone is crucial in Tai Chi. We always want the tailbone to sink in Tai Chi. Sink. So that your spine, again, gets longer. Your body expands. That's what makes Tai Chi look so graceful, beautiful as it moves. And yet there's power in those movements because you're connecting your tailbone to the ground as you move. But if I push, then there's no connection to my tailbone, okay? It's as if I'm pushing my tailbone up. Now, some of the more experienced players will say, well, yeah, but that's fine. It works just fine for me when I do that, okay? I'm not pushing my hip. I'm not pushing my tailbone. I'm just moving. You may not even be aware that you're doing it, okay? But if you look at it from the perspective that you always want the tailbone to drop, always feel like you can drop more, okay? It's hard to explain this because it's a feeling. It's a feeling like something's hanging off a rubber band. It can always expand a little more. There's the potential to expand. But if that rubber band, something is stopping it from expanding, that's it. It won't go anymore, okay? You've stopped the expansion. So if your tailbone can't go down because you essentially moved your structure a little bit up, you may not even feel this, okay? So what you can feel is my tailbone dropping, continuously dropping. Does it feel like it can drop more? Okay. When I pull with my foot, what happens is, as I'm pulling, I'm letting this leg go into the ground. My tailbone continues to sink into the ground. So when I move, the tailbone is still sinking into the ground, okay? I'm still sinking into the ground. Now, if I push off, I stop that sinking. So if I do this, I'm already pushing myself up. So as I go here, now when I push off again, I'm not sinking. This is getting into the internal aspects of Tai Chi, of feeling that your spine can expand a little bit more. Tailbone can sink a little more. Quad can open a little bit more. Okay, your jade pillow open a little bit more. Your whole body opens up and expands. The only way to understand this really is to try it. Try moving in different ways to feel which one works for you, okay? I firmly believe pulling like a cat, walking, is the better way. You stay in the ground. You're not going up and down. You're not stopping yourself from rooting into the floor. Because when you push, you actually stop the rooting process, okay? So here, I'm rooting. Even as I step, I'm still walking in the floor. I'm rooted. As opposed to when I push, now I'm on top of the floor, okay? Things to consider. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. See you next time. Bye-bye.